I never experienced any communication problems in my family.
During Feast Week, the Salesianum community was able to experience something very new and interesting while in Mass. This year's Feast Week Mass was done by a deaf priest. This is the second time a deaf priest has presided a Mass here at Salesianum. Father Mike Depcik is one of the 12 deaf priests in the world.
It is nice. It's very unique. There's so few deaf in the world, deaf priests, yeah. So, and I'm one of them, yeah.
As a deaf priest, he has overcome his disability and is able to preside a whole Mass with the help of a translator.
But then I felt alone when I entered the oblates at first.
But with this disability comes a message. He is trying to bring awareness to the deaf community because most churches don't accommodate to the deaf and tend to forget about them.
We can bring some of heaven, some of His kingdom here on earth.
Yes, it is wonderful, especially the deaf community, because often they are forgotten. They can be left out in church at Mass. 96% of deaf people don't go to church because there's no access to communication sites, so often people are overlooked.
Father Mike has had a very interesting call in the faith. He was born deaf and sent to a Catholic school, but never really felt connected to God. When he was a teenager, he got involved with the exchange program and finished high school in Australia. It was in the host family that he finally found God and then decided to live a life of God.
So many people criticizing other people.
I grew up Catholic. I went to a Catholic school, but I was not really deeply connected with Catholicism. And then I went to Australia in high school as an exchange student. I was 17 years old. The host family that lived in Australia, they were born-again Christians. And I was very impressed with their commitment to their faith, their witness. It's the first time that I experienced God personally.
Father Mike gives us goals and messages that we can follow to make a good difference in the world today. He tells us to accept the differences of others and help each other out to become closer to God. By doing all this, we can bring the kingdom of God on earth.
I encourage everyone the students to continue to appreciate diversity and bring the kingdom of God here on earth.
Just an opportunity to practice, or maybe I should say.
Salesianum School offers an American Sign Language course that teaches the basics of sign language and touches on the inside of the deaf community. Many people look over this class and decide to take Spanish, as most people have taken this language their entire life. This class offers a cool experience to communicate with people with disabilities and understand their culture.
I've taken Spanish for a really long time, since grade school, so having something new and refreshing was pretty awesome. But the thing about sign language is that, well, it's not just a cultural thing like the different languages, it's also learning a way to communicate with people who have a disability and learning how that discrimination still kind of exists in this world where it doesn't so much with French or Spanish or Latin as much with the other classes here. So it's pretty interesting to learn how to communicate.
This class is a great opportunity to try new things and step out of your comfort zone. Also, St. Francis de Sales was a patron saint of the deaf, so by learning the language, we get closer to God and our patron saint.
St. Francis de Sales is the patron saint of the deaf, so when Father Beretta came over, I just wanted to say how much this meant to him. Having Father Mike here was pretty awesome because we got to see how it relates to the oblates and how he's only one of 12 deaf priests in the entire world.
The visit from Father Mike was an amazing opportunity for the whole community, especially those who take ASL, to experience God in a new way and to have a new insight on the deaf community. Reporting for WSAL, Paul O'Donnell.